Alright, hello everyone, my name is Doku Yamika, and I am here to show you guys how to make a webtoon, uh, how to start it, what things you should know, and all the essential things that you need to make one. Um, I am the creator of Exchange, which is a canvas webtoon that I've made for about 2 years now. And hopefully this helps you guys, those that are currently making one and those that are thinking of making. So uh, hope this video is very informative and it'll help you guys on your journey. So that said, let's go ahead and get into it. So I actually made a recording before this, but the audio wasn't so good, so I had to redo it. I didn't want you guys to hear like really bad mic quality, so I'm back again to not only have the audio better, but to maybe explain uh, everything for the webtoon. So um, these are the basic things that you guys need to know before making a webtoon, um, and to always keep in mind when you're making one. It's the story, the characters, the art style, the medium, the genres, and the plot. So, um, should be a 6, right? These 6 points should be always important to always remember. So, let's go ahead and go with the story. With the story, I always say this to many people that start a webtoon or maybe are kind of lost with their story. Always have a beginning, middle, and end, because if story is the thing that you're lagging of in your webtoon, always have those in your mind or something written down. Your beginning, your middle, and end, because those are like your guidelines for everything. So now, in between the beginning, the middle, and the end, you can improvise. I believe it's completely fine as long as you think about it hard and it makes sense, and you can somehow segue into like a smooth transition towards the beginning and then to the middle. So that's always very important to remember. Uh, Other than that, then the story should be okay. Always think about it though. If you are running out of ideas, or like you're having kind of like a writer's block, any activity that makes you step away from your story, so say like exercise, walking, it helps. It really does. From my prior experience, when I was working at my first job, um, it was also the first time. Like, it was like when I was working my first job, I wanted to make a webtoon, and while I was working and things are just kind of slow at work, I always had ideas because I was doing something else, and uh, it's kind of like the concept of doing something you don't want to do, but all the ideas pop in your head while you're doing that. So if you're having like some issues with thinking of ideas or have writer's block, try keep yourself busy that isn't your web. So yeah, moving on with that, we have the characters. Now with characters, you have like personalities, your designs, and their motives. So everything is all completely up to you guys. How they want to look, how they want to act. But the motives are very important. Depending on what your story is, you always want to have them have like some sort of goal. Now, it can be very small. It doesn't have to be very, very ambitious and grand, but at least have them have something, just so that they're somewhat interesting. And if you can't find one, maybe you can develop a motive for them towards, progression in your story. Other than that, it's everything is how it usually is. That's it for the characters, basically. Now for the art style. This one is usually what takes the most time of everyone for Webtoon because it's the drawing part. Some people could be the story that they can draw as much as they want, but if the story is thick in the back, then that could be their problem. But majority people, I would say, is the art. So with that said, the direction of art style that you may or may not want to go for is entirely up to you. You want to go simple or complex. Now there are certain genres that Webtoons can go towards, and just depending on the genre, the art style could be very simple or very complex. It all depends. So for example, simple art styles like My Giant Nerd Boyfriend, Mers, Nice to Meet You, Curse Princess Club, they tend to have comedy, slice of life, romance genres. But because it's those genres, it's a little bit more simple. Now, that doesn't mean you can't be complex with those genres, but it's just usually how it is. And then with complex art style, you have a Mission Reader, Jungle Juice, Solo Leveling, Holy Blood, Doombreaker, action, superpower, fantasy genres. But a little exception with these are probably studios that are, making these Webtoons. But I think the point still stands that those genres tend to be a little bit more complex with their art styles. So, it all depends on you. You can mix and match. You can have a simple looking action, superpower, fantasy Webtoon. And now I want to make a disclaimer that there is no right or wrong art style. It all depends on you. Trust me, I've seen both. And they're both great. So there is no right or wrong answer for art style. So do what you feel. I've even seen like black and white Webtoons, and I enjoy those as well. So yeah, moving on to medium. Now currently, as I'm talking right now, Clip Studio Paint has a half off sale for the Pro and EX versions. I highly recommend you getting it if you're interested in Webtoons or you don't have a drawing software that's very reliable. I would go with Clip Studio Paint. I've been with it for about 2 years, I'd say now, and it's amazing. It's the best idea slash like program ever, and it's the best idea I've ever had. So yeah, they have a half off sale until the 7th of September. I really recommend you getting it if you haven't. It's really good. Now, it doesn't mean like Studio is the only program that is good for Webtoons. There's a lot of there is a lot of programs out there. There's Photoshop. Mongi uses Photoshop. I know some friends that use Photoshop for Webtoons. It's probably just as good as Clip Studio. I just know that Clip Studio has a Webtoon feature specifically to make Webtoons. So, sadly, I don't know much about Photoshop, so I can't really say. But I heard it's good. So that's also another alternative if you guys want. Paintal Sci. I used Paintal Sci for my webtoon before. I used Clip Studio Paint, and it does the job just as well. The only thing is, I don't think it has like speech bubble slash text support. Now, it's been a while since I used Paintal Sci, so I don't know. There's like Paintal Sci like 2, like a second version of it, and I haven't seen much of that either, so I don't know. But it's still good. It's good for just basic illustration as well. So if you're considering doing that, go ahead. It's pretty cheap. And then you have traditional, where it's just you take a paper, you draw your webtoon on there, you scan it, and then you put it onto like a program to fix it. Well, I've done that before. I think it's completely fine as long as you know what you're doing. Moving on to genres. This could be anything, you know? It's all entirely up to you. You have up to 2 choices for genres. You have genres like action, romance, slice of life. These are usually the most popular genres on the webtoon directory, I guess. It's very saturated with those. Doesn't mean you can't put it on there. You can do whatever you want. And then you have like comedy, and there's more like of the lesser saturated genres like post-apocalyptic, horror, mystery, crime. It's entirely up to you. You can do whatever you want. Then you have like small little subgenres like BL and GL for romance and stuff. You know, it's all entirely up to you. And there are platforms that you can choose to put your stuff on. I only know of 2 platforms that are at least very reliable. You have, of course, Webtoon themselves, Line Webtoon, and then you have Topbox. Now, I love both platforms. They've treated me very well. I will say that Webtoon has much more traffic than Topbox. A lot more people read on Webtoon just because it's just more popular in the current days. But that doesn't mean Topbox isn't good. Topbox is amazing. I feel like they're much more community friendly for Tapas. I've gotten a lot of interaction with those as well. The good thing about Tapas compared to Webtoon is it's much easier to earn revenue compared to Webtoon. Webtoon, I don't know why. Like, I struggled trying to get just the ad revenue, and I mean, you're supposed to earn it, but still, it's kind of difficult getting it on Webtoon. But regardless, I'm not trying to scare you or anything. It's just like, what's easier and more friendly. I'm trying to give you guys that information. Tapas, yeah, it's much easier to get revenue once you hit 50 subscribers. I believe you can get it's either 50 or 25 you get ad revenue, and then I think 100 subscribers you get the ability to get donation, which is called ink, and people give you ink, and then you can pay that out with PayPal. So either way, both platforms are amazing. They're very supportive. They're very friendly. So that's basically it for all the major points for to start a webtoon. Basically, all the key points that you need to know. These are points that, you know, like, just gives you your guide and your push to make webtoon. So, including all of this, make sure you know what your story is, what your characters are, whether it's your main characters and your side characters. It's always good to try to write as much as you can for your characters. Your art style, this is very important. You know, whatever you choose to do, to make sure you can make it efficient production. What you're making your webtoon on, your medium, you know, Clip Studio, Pixel Sci, Photoshop, traditional, anything really. Your genres, you know, what your story is going towards, for what type of genre it is, the platforms you choose to put them on. They're both good. So, yeah. With that said, thank you so much for watching this video for how to start a webtoon. Like I said earlier in the video, Clip Studio is having a sale. I would highly suggest you guys go and try and pick it up if you can afford it. It's awesome. It really is. If you like my content, please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube, subscribe to my Webtoon, follow me on Twitch, and subscribe to my Patreon. I'm gonna have a lot more tutorials on there, not only just for creating things, making things easier for Webtoon, but also like showing my techniques, how to make my story, basically. Like, I'll give you a quick example of what my Webtoon panels look like. Let's say this is spoilers, by the way. Say for example this page right here. You know, I can show you how you guys can make this look like a soft panel with all these designs and like techniques just to make this pop out more and such. So you know, even like these lines here and the speech bubbles and such. If you guys want to know how to do that kind of stuff, I will show tutorials on my Patreon. I even have like exclusive wallpapers from my series, and even like just artworks that are exclusive to you guys on Patreon. You can even have early access to my episodes there if you really love my content. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.